Have you seen the photos of the strange pyramids found on the moon? Or maybe the photos of women with mobile phones taken in the mid-20th century? I've gathered the most bizarre and unusual images for you that will surprise anyone. Some pictures might really scare you, which is why I saved them for last. Pyramid. As promised, take a look at this photo taken in 1972 during the Apollo 17 mission on the surface of the moon. Initially, it seemed overexposed and the astronauts thought nothing was visible. However, after careful analysis, it was discovered that the photo, to everyone's surprise, features a structure resembling a pyramid. This discovery sparked many discussions and speculations. Could there be more on the moon than we can imagine? What do the shadows and light on this mysterious image hide? And how is this possible? But wait, this is far from the strangest thing I will show you today. Hessdalen Lights. What about these shots? Since the 1980s, scientists and enthusiasts worldwide have been fascinated by the Hessdalen Lights, mysterious luminous formations that appear in the sky over the Hessdalen Valley in Norway. These phenomena take the form of spheres, ellipses, or arcs, and can glow in various colors, from yellow and green to white. They appear silently, move chaotically, or hover in the air and disappear as suddenly as they appear. UFO enthusiasts quickly attributed these lights to alien activity, while the scientific community equipped the valley with a monitoring station using modern equipment to collect data. Despite the lack of consensus on the nature of the Hessdalen Lights, several hypotheses are supported by collected data and eyewitness accounts. Interestingly, the appearance of the lights often coincides with increased levels of electromagnetic radiation, and sometimes even background radiation. Can you imagine? There is also a correlation between solar activity and the frequency of the light phenomena. During magnetic storms, the lights appear more frequently. Most sightings occur between 4 p.m. and 2 a.m., with the number of phenomena varying by season. But if these phenomena can somehow be explained, what will you say about the next photo? Phone and movie. A photo taken at the premiere of Charlie Chaplin's film The Circus in 1928 sparked a lot of speculation. In it, a woman appears to be holding an object to her ear that resembles a mobile phone. This image fueled rumors about time travelers, although many believe that the woman is actually holding a hearing aid. The question remains, if it is indeed a hearing aid, why does she seem to be speaking into it like a mobile phone? And this isn't the only such photo. Let me show you another case. Phone and photo. This frame from a 1938 documentary also sparked a lot of discussions and speculations on the internet. A young woman identified as Gertrude Jones is having a lively conversation while holding an object to her ear that resembles a mobile phone. But in this case, we can find the truth. According to her great-grandson, in the 1930s, a communications company in Massachusetts developed a prototype wireless device. Gertrude and some other participants were given these devices for testing over a week. In the mentioned footage, Gertrude is using this device to talk to another test participant who was nearby. Black Night. And what do you say about this strange image? What is it? The Black Knight satellite is a mysterious object in Earth orbit that has sparked a lot of debates and theories among ufologists and conspiracy theorists. It was first spotted in 1960, and since then many claim that this object could be an alien satellite orbiting Earth for about 12,000 or even 13,000 years. Such assumptions, of course, sound like an exaggeration given the lack of technology from that time. In 1998, the most famous photograph of this object was taken by NASA specialists, which conspiracy theorists often cite as proof of its existence. However, the official version states that these were just fragments of space debris. Interest in the Black Knight revived in 2017 when Mail Online reported the shooting down of an alien satellite allegedly spying on humans. This added fuel to the already existing conspiracy theories. In June 2019, ufologist Scott Waring claimed that he found something on the photos of the Apollo 10 mission that he believes to be the i.e. Black Knight. He asserts that using image processing in a photo editor, he was able to see a UFO with big hands, supposedly confirming the existence of advanced alien technology. As you can see, we may never know the truth, so let's move on. Photo of the deceased. Look at this photo from 1919 aboard the HMS Daedalus. What's wrong with it? It shows the Goddard Squadron, a group of pilots who participated in World War I. However, the most interesting part is the figure in the background, identified as Freddie Jackson, a squadron mechanic. But what's the problem? Freddie died a few days before the photo was taken, and on the day of the shoot, his comrades were attending his funeral. Apparently, he decided not to leave his friends and now wanders somewhere nearby, but let's move on. Cooper family. This is also a very strange photo. A photograph of the Cooper family taken in the 1950s has become one of the most discussed and mysterious in the history of the internet. When the family settled into their new home, they decided to mark the occasion with a group photo. However, what they saw in the developed photograph was a real shock. In addition to the smiling family members, there was the image of a dead body that seemed to be hanging from the ceiling. This unexpected and frightening element led to many speculations and guesses. Some believed it could be the spirit of a previous owner or a victim related to the house's history. The most interesting part is that experts denied any photo manipulation and were baffled by the strange body in the picture. Creepy, right? Couple from Mexico. And here's an amazing photo taken in 1940, showing a couple of pilgrims during their spiritual journey in Mexico. Their pilgrimage was to the famous shrine of San Juan de los Lagos, attracting believers from all over the world, especially at the end of January and the beginning of February each year. The pilgrimage to San Juan de los Lagos is not just a journey. It is a path of trials and self-sacrifice. Pilgrims, like the woman in the photo, often take on special ascetic vows, which can include abstaining from food, water, clothing, and even temporarily limiting vision, all in the name of deep faith and self-denial. It looks quite eerie, don't you agree? Smoke from eyes. In the 1930s, a man named Alfred Langevin lived in Detroit. He amazed the public with his unusual abilities and became quite well known in the USA. His unique talent was that he could emit smoke through his eye sockets, and his eyes were real, not prosthetic. Additionally, Alfred had the ability to inflate balloons with his eyes, which also drew the attention of audiences and contributed to his popularity. His performances attracted large crowds, and Langevin made a living from this unique gift. Alfred's unusual abilities were related to a pathology of the tear glands, similar to Mike Morrell from Vancouver, who is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for being able to shoot milk from his eyes over 10 feet. Human skin gloves. Now, let me show you a truly frightening image. Gloves made from human skin. Ed Gein, one of the most notorious serial killers in American history, became infamous for his horrifying crimes in the mid-1950s in Plainfield, Wisconsin. His actions were so shocking that they later inspired iconic horror films such as The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho. Gein was arrested in 1957, and it was then that the full extent of his atrocities was revealed. During a search of his home, police discovered grotesque items, mutilated bodies, bowls made from human skulls, a lampshade made from a human face, and gloves made from human skin. Gein robbed graves, killed innocent women, and used their body parts to create furniture and clothing. Terrifying, isn't it? But let's move on to something more amusing. Dress store. Take a look at this strange house in the photo. In 1925, an inventive Belgian store owner faced an unexpected problem. His women's dresses and coats were not selling. All attempts to attract customers, from street criers to newspaper ads, failed. In desperation and anger, he decided to take a radical step. One night, he hung women's dresses and coats all over the facades of his multi-story house. This unusual installation quickly attracted the attention of not only passers-by, but also the police. The townspeople were shocked and simultaneously intrigued by the sight of their angry, swearing fellow citizen on the roof, surrounded by 1,000 dresses, trying to explain his actions to the police. The scene drew such a crowd that the news of the House of Dresses spread throughout the city like wildfire. In the end, the dresses were sold within a couple of hours, and the store owner became a local celebrity. Clothing made from money. What do you think about this photograph? And no, this isn't a one-time photo shoot of a successful and wealthy lady. In 1923, Germany experienced one of the most extreme periods of hyperinflation in history. The value of the country's currency, the German mark, plummeted at an incredible rate, leading to skyrocketing prices for all goods and services. As a result, many citizens faced severe financial difficulties and had to find creative ways to cope with the crisis. One of the most unusual methods people found to survive was using paper money as material for clothing. The paper bills of that time became so devalued that their worth was less than the cost of fabric. This led people to use the now practically worthless money to make clothing. People sewed jackets, pants, dresses, and other garments from money. This clothing not only helped address the material shortage, but also became a vivid symbol of the economic trials the country was undergoing. Amazing, isn't it? Photograph of a patient. Between 1854 and 1856, French neurologist Guillaume Benjamin Armand Duchenne de Boulogne conducted experiments aimed at studying facial expressions through the electrical stimulation of muscles. Duchenne used methods that today would be considered inhumane. He would tie his patients down and apply electric shocks to artificially induce various facial expressions. These actions allowed him to observe how specific muscle groups were involved in creating facial expressions. And this is how this frightening photograph came to be. An hour before dinner. In this photograph, you can see Michael Rockefeller, the son of the governor of New York and future vice president of the USA, Nelson Rockefeller. Michael was an adventurous spirit, and in the early 1960s, he embarked on an expedition to Papua New Guinea. However, his journey took a tragic turn. The local inhabitants, members of the Asmat people, who are reputed to be cannibals, killed the young explorer after one of their rituals. Michael's tragic fate caused a significant stir and left a deep mark on the Rockefeller family's history. Officially, Michael was declared missing, though everyone knows his fate. Battle of Los Angeles. And now, we can't go without this legendary shot that went around the world. The incident, known as the Battle of Los Angeles, occurred on the night of February 24-25, 1942, shortly after the United States entered World War II. That evening, air raid sirens sounded over Los Angeles, and American forces began firing, believing it was a Japanese attack. However, shortly after, the US government announced that it was a false alarm, caused by a misinterpretation of the situation. Despite the official explanations, many remained skeptical, believing that the authorities were hiding something. The situation was further complicated by the fact that the press published photos showing objects that resembled UFOs. This only fueled public debates and conspiracy theories. Later, in 1949, the US government declared that the photographed object was merely a weather balloon, accidentally caught in the searchlights, creating the illusion of a hovering alien craft. Sure, and meteorologists were shooting at it to meet the weather forecast deadline. I believe it wholeheartedly, don't you? Tulip Staircase Ghost. I'll end this segment with this mysterious shot. In 1966, Ralph Hardy, a retired priest, took a photograph of a spiral staircase known as the Tulip Staircase in the National Maritime Museum in England. After developing the photos, Hardy discovered the silhouette of a person ascending the stairs and holding onto the railing. This image garnered significant interest and was thoroughly examined by experts, including those from Kodak. After a detailed analysis of the negatives, the experts concluded that the image was genuine. Museum staff claimed that strange occurrences, such as sightings of figures, footsteps, voices, and even bloodstains, regularly happen on this staircase. There is a legend that about 300 years ago, Oh, a maid died on this staircase, which might explain the mystical occurrences. Some suggest that the mysterious silhouette could be the result of light reflection or another optical effect. However, there is an opinion that the figure in the photo looks very realistic, fueling interest and discussions about ghosts among us. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel. By the way, if you love interesting stories, can write scripts, edit videos, or voiceover clips, be sure to contact us through our Telegram bot. We'd love to collaborate. And thanks for watching.